Hey, folks. I've got some great news for you. We've got a lesson that's not about prefixes involving verbs of motion for once. We're up to lesson 41, and now we can get back to learning some more conversational Russian, some more I'm tempted to say useful Russian. I don't know if that's the right way to say it because I don't want to imply that the prefixes for verbs of motion are not useful. Of course, they are useful, but they're not necessarily something that you'd use in everyday Russian quite as much. So now we're getting more into more everyday kind of stuff that you'd use in regular everyday speech. So lesson 41 is speaking about purposes and reasons. Should be a fairly straightforward lesson. We're really just learning a handful of phrases here. In fact, I'll kind of give it away and just scroll down a bit so we can see. Basically, the things that we want to learn are зачем, почему, чтобы, and потому что. So, Зачем and почему both translate roughly to the question why in English, and so this lesson is partly about the difference between them. Почему is the more general word meaning why, and зачем means something more like what for, or for what. So if you're saying, for what purpose is this, then the word is зачем. But if you're more generally just saying why, then it's почему. And these words kind of match up with чтобы and потому что. So потому что is the more general phrase meaning because. Why is it raining today? Because raindrops are falling from the sky. I don't know, maybe that's a stupid example, but you get the idea. And then чтобы means something more like in order to. Чтобы means for the purpose of this. That's basically it. That's basically the gist of the lesson. So you've already got the idea behind the lesson. Let's go ahead now and go through the dialogues here. So here is task 1. Listen to this dialogue. I'll just go ahead and quickly translate the text here. So there are obviously two guys here sitting in what looks like an airplane. This guy is obviously dressed very warmly, and he's holding a map which says Norilsk. Norilsk is that notorious city in northern Russia, which is famous partly for being very cold and also for being very polluted because it has a lot of mining operations there, which releases a lot of hazardous and toxic chemicals into the surrounding air and environment generally. And he's obviously dressed very warm, as if he's going to Norilsk or someplace very cold like that. And this guy looks surprised. And one of the reasons why he might be surprised is if you look at the stickers up here, this red text says na yug, towards the south, and kurort yuga. Kurort, that's a nice word. It's basically a direct... It's directly ripped off from the German word Kurort. So the German word Kur here means it's basically cognate to the English word cure, and Ort in German means a place, like a city or location of some kind. So a Kurort in German, and it means the same thing. Kurort in Russian means the same thing. It's kind of like a spa town, like a popular place where tourists go to recover if they're feeling sick. So, kind of like a hot springs kind of place where people will go if they want to experience some warm weather and kind of get away from the cold for a while. So that's a Kurort in German or a Kurort in Russian. And so Kurorte Yuga means the Kurorte, the cure places of the south. So all indications are this plane's going to the south, but the guy is dressed as if he's going to the north, and he has a map of a northern city, which may be why this guy looks surprised. So what's going on here? Let's go ahead and listen into the dialogue and see what Ivan and John have to say to each other. I'm going to guess that John is not a Russian because he doesn't have a Russian name.
А зачем вы едете в Россию?
Чтобы работать здесь.
А почему вы хотите здесь работать?
Потому что мой шеф послал меня сюда.
Я вижу, вы в шубе, а зачем вам нужна шуба?
Я купил ее, чтобы не замерзнуть зимой.
А в каком городе вы будете работать?
В Ростове-на-Дону.
Но этот город на юге России, там редко бывает снег. А зачем вы купили путеводитель по Норильску?
Извините?
Эта книга «Гид по городу Норильску», это в Сибири.
Я не знал. Я купил книгу на русском языке, чтобы изучить язык. А почему вы интересуетесь?
Потому что мне интересно, с какими стереотипами приезжают иностранцы в Россию.
Indeed. Okay, so it's pretty much exactly as the picture indicated. So let's go ahead and fill in the blanks here. Ivan says,
А зачем вы едете в Россию?
so зачем? Let's put зачем here. So you could say почему вы едете в Россию? Why are you going to Russia? But he says зачем вы едете в Россию, which is more like for what purpose, for what cause are you going into Russia?
Чтобы работать здесь.
Чтобы, and as I said, the words зачем and чтобы, at least in the context of this lesson, kind of go together. So, чтобы работать здесь, you could translate that as to work here, but I guess a more full or verbose translation would be for the purpose of working here or in order to work here. That's what чтобы means.
А почему вы хотите здесь работать?
Okay, and now this guy asks почему, which again is the more general word for why. Почему вы хотите здесь работать, and why do you want to work here?
Потому что мой шеф послал меня сюда.
And he answers with потому что, which is the more general word for because. So, потому что мой шеф послал меня сюда. Because my boss sent me сюда as like to there, or I guess an equivalent English word would be thither, but nobody really says thither today. So, but yeah, you could say my boss sent me there to there or to here.
Я вижу, вы в шубе,
I see you are in a fur coat.
а зачем вам нужна шуба?
Зачем? Зачем вам нужна шуба, and for what purpose do you need a fur coat?
Я купил ее, чтобы не замерзнуть зимой.
Yes, whoops, wrong key. I bought her, because shuba is feminine, I bought her in order to not freeze in the winter.
А в каком городе вы будете работать?
And in which city are you going to work?
В Ростове-на-Дону.
In Rostov-na-Don, which is it's a city in Russia.
Но этот город на юге России, там редко бывает снег.
But that city is in the south of Russia. It rarely snows there.
А зачем вы купили путеводитель по Норильску?
And for what reason or for what purpose did you buy a map or a tourist guide of Norilsk?
Извините?
Excuse me?
Эта книга «Гид по городу Норильску», это в Сибири.
This book is a guide to the city Norilsk, which is in Siberia.
Я не знал.
I didn't know.
Я купил книгу на русском языке, чтобы изучить язык.
Okay, so he said чтобы. Let's go ahead and fill in that blank there. I bought a book in the Russian language in order to learn the language.
А почему вы интересуетесь?
Почему? And why are you so interested?
Потому что мне интересно, с какими стереотипами приезжают иностранцы в Россию.
Yes, so let's go ahead and put in the потому что there. Because it interests me with what stereotypes foreigners come into Russia. So, yeah, so this guy thought that he was going to a place that's super cold. He bought the warm hat and the warm coat and apparently had no idea where he was going, just bought something in Russian, which ended up being a tour guide to Norilsk, which is not at all the city that he's going to, and he's completely not really dressed appropriately for the climate that he's going to. Okay, so that was one dialogue, and here's a second dialogue, obviously featuring what appears to be a man and a woman, quite astonished by some clothing and a suitcase, and judging by the titles here, Zhenya and Muj. I'm going to guess that this is a wife and husband. So let's go ahead and see what the wife and husband have to say to each other.
Любимый, я сегодня была на распродаже. Смотри, что я купила.
Дорогая, зачем ты купила горнолыжный костюм?
Как зачем? Чтобы кататься на лыжах, в горах.
А зачем ты купила крем для загара?
Чтобы не обгореть. В горах же солнце.
Так, а это что? Зачем ты купила новый чемодан? У нас уже 4 чемодана.
Чтобы положить все вещи, которые я возьму с собой. Старые чемоданы очень маленькие. А когда мы летим в Швейцарию?
Какую Швейцарию? В следующем месяце мы едем в Швецию. У меня там конференция, а ты погуляешь по городу.
Почему в Швецию? Ты же говорил, что мы полетим в Швейцарию.
Нет, я говорил о Швеции. Ты, как обычно, все перепутала.
Oh dear. Little bit of conflict here as usual. So the woman is proud of this ski suit and sunglasses and hat and suitcase that she bought. But the husband is a bit nonplussed by this turn of events. So let's go ahead and review. The woman says,
Любимый, я сегодня была на распродаже. Смотри, что я купила.
Darling, I today was at a sale. Look what I bought.
Дорогая, зачем ты купила горнолыжный костюм?
Zачем? Darling, for what purpose did you buy горнолыжный костюм, a ski suit?
Как зачем?
I love her reaction. Как зачем? Как зачем? Like, what do you mean зачем? How can you say зачем?
Чтобы кататься на лыжах, в горах.
And then, чтобы, in order to ski, to go skiing in the mountains.
А зачем ты купила крем для загара?
Зачем? And for what purpose did you buy? Крем is like cream. And для загара, I don't know what's the actual translation of загара. Hold on, let me look at this up. What is загара? Because I can tell you, крем для загара means sunblock. So cream for something is sunblock. But what does the word загара mean by itself, or does it in fact have any meaning by itself? Let me look this up. Загара means, okay, it's genitive of zagar, which means suntan. Okay, I see. So it's like tanning lotion, except, yeah, cream. Okay. So, and why did you buy cream for suntan, sunblock or suntan lotion?
Чтобы не обгореть. В горах же солнце.
So she, of course, says чтобы. Would be nice if the word stayed where I dragged it. Чтобы не обгореть. So, in order not to get burned. In the mountains, there is the sun.
Так,
Так. I love his reaction. Так, like, yeah.
а это что?
And that's what? What is that?
Зачем ты купила новый чемодан? У нас уже 4 чемодана.
Once again, he asks, зачем? I think this woman doesn't appreciate how frequently this guy is asking зачем. Зачем ты купила новый чемодан? For what purpose did you buy a new suitcase? У нас уже 4 чемодана. We have already 4 suitcases.
Чтобы положить все вещи, которые я возьму с собой.
So, not surprisingly, she answers зачем with чтобы. In order to pack all the things which I bring with me.
Старые чемоданы очень маленькие.
The old suitcases are very small.
А когда мы летим в Швейцарию?
And when do we fly to Switzerland?
Какую Швейцарию?
What do you mean, Switzerland?
В следующем месяце мы едем в Швецию. У меня там конференция, а ты погуляешь по городу.
Next month, we go to Sweden. I have there a conference, and you will walk around the city.
Почему в Швецию?
Почему в Швецию? Why to Sweden?
Ты же говорил, что мы полетим в Швейцарию.
You said that we fly to Switzerland.
Нет, я говорил о Швеции.
No, I said to Sweden.
Ты, как обычно, все перепутала.
You, as usual, mixed everything up. Okay, so this is a source of confusion for people who are learning Russian. I don't know if this is really a source of confusion to Russians themselves, but this can definitely be confusing because Швейцария is Switzerland, which is, Central Europe in the mountains, and Švecia is Sweden, which is obviously, Northern Europe and does not have many mountains. So that was the confusion there. The woman bought, a new ski suit and suitcase and things which she probably now may not need because there are not a lot of mountains in Sweden. But oh well, I'm sure that she can use them later, perhaps. So now we have a relatively simple exercise, I think. With what we've learned now, we have to fill in these 10 sentences. Do we say зачем, or почему, or чтобы, or потому что? Should be pretty easy, I think. Let's see. Почему тебе нравится здесь? Why do you like it here? Something это красивый город. Well, obviously, чтобы doesn't make much sense. In order that it is a beautiful city, that makes no sense whatsoever. So obviously, потому что. Because it is a beautiful city. I wonder, is it case sensitive? Is it going to ding me because the P is lowercase there? I'll actually leave it that way and see if it takes it. Okay. Зачем ты сказал девушке, что она красивая? Why did you tell the girl that she is beautiful? Something сделать ей приятное. To make it comfortable for her. So this is now чтобы, in order to. So not because. If you say because, you would have to say something like because I wanted to make it comfortable for her. But here, чтобы means in order to. So in order to make it comfortable for her. And like I said, I'll try and use a lowercase ch just to see if it makes any difference. I don't think it does. Anyway, something ты опоздал. Why are you late? Well, yeah, for what purpose did you come late probably doesn't make much sense. I doubt that the person came deliberately late. So let's go ahead and say почему ты опоздал? Потому что была пробка. Because there was traffic. Okay. Next one, something вы не пришли на собрание. Why you didn't come to the meeting. Again, I'm going to assume this is почему. Something мы не знали о нем. Because I didn't know about it. So that is pretty clearly потому что, because I didn't know about the meeting. Something ты написал клиенту о наших проблемах. Why did you write to the client about our problems? Okay, so here I'm going to say that probably зачем is... You can kind of tell because you can see the text box is a little shorter. That's kind of a dead giveaway that they're expecting a different word here. But in any case, it makes sense. For what purpose did you write to the client about our problems? Чтобы он знал о них. So that he knows about them. Well, gosh, that's a logical response if there ever was one. Why did you punch the client in the face? In order for him to get punched in the face. Very logical. You can see Russians are sometimes very logical people. Okay. Зачем они платят так много за антивирус? Why or for what purpose are they paying so much for antivirus? And because it's зачем, I guess the companion word here would be чтобы. Чтобы их компьютеры были защищены от всех вирусов. So that their computers will be protected from all viruses. Okay, so here, if you translate чтобы into English here, it wouldn't translate as in order to, but rather would translate as so that. So чтобы can also mean so that the computers are protected from viruses. Moving on. Почему ты не платишь за парковку? Why you do not pay for parking? And I guess the companion answer to почему generally will be потому что. Потому что мой дядя работает здесь в охране. Because my uncle works here in security. So because my uncle here is a security guard, I anticipate that I will not get a parking ticket. Everyday Russian society. Okay, and I can already tell by the length of the text box that this is зачем. So let's go ahead and see. Зачем тебе нужен новый ноутбук? For what purpose do you need a new notebook? And here, notebook is not. It doesn't mean a notebook. It means a notebook computer because Russian uses a different word for notebook. It uses what is the Russian word for notebook? Hold on, let me check. I knew that once and then forgot it. Блокнот or тетрадь, right? Okay, so I think тетрадь is excuse me. Тетрадь is I think the word that I've more usually heard, but you can also say блокнот. Блокнот is a notebook, but here notebook is not a paper notebook, but a notebook computer. Чтобы эффективнее работать, in order to more effectively work. Notice here the use of two E's on the end, so this is saying more effectively. Эффективнее, more effectively work. Okay. Почему у тебя так много денег? Why do you have so much money? Well, the answer to почему is потому что я много работаю и мало трачу. Because I work a lot and little spend, or spend little. And finally, зачем тебе столько денег? Why do you need money? Or for what purpose do you need so much money? And again, the response to зачем is чтобы. And yes, it took everything. So, чтобы чувствовать себя увереннее. To feel myself. This is a peculiarity of Russian. When you say I feel something, you say I feel myself. So, in order to feel myself увереннее, confident. So, in order to feel confident, that's why I need so much money. Also, everyday Russian society, I guess. Okay, so the question is зачем and two ways to answer it. So you can say чтобы with the infinitive. So yeah, in order to посмотреть film, in order to look at the film. So the friends bought tickets to the theater in order to look at the film. Dad bought a tennis racket, in order to practice tennis. Mom bought groceries in order to cook борщ. And you can also use чтобы with a verb in the past tense. So friends bought авиабилет, airplane tickets, чтобы их друг полетел so that the friends would fly in travel. That's an interesting information. Dad bought a racket, чтобы его сын играл в tennis, so that his son would play in tennis. Mom bought groceries so that the daughter would cook dinner. Right, so slightly different form here due to the different construction. So let's look at the questions зачем and okay, I see. So this is explaining why you do each. So what we saw in the dialogues, in the two dialogues that open the lesson, is just чтобы plus infinitive, when there's just one person who's the only active doer. But you can also answer with the construction чтобы and then past tense when there are several people, each of whom is an active doer. So that's a different, that's interesting, that's a different construction. Okay, and here we have some more interesting constructions, which I'm not going to read through, but hopefully you can understand them. And then почему means, yeah, it's more generally just why, for what reason, and they are generally answered with construction потому что. And so here we have actually fairly simple sentences which communicate why and because. So pretty straightforward, right? Let's move on, and here we have now exercise 4, and here we just have, for each of these, we have to choose one of these two. So let's see now, what's the correct, so, мы пригласили Ольгу в гости, чтобы вместе something film. So we invited Olga as a guest in order to together something film. So because all these people are doing it together, I'm going to guess that you would use here not the actually, I'm just looking at my notes. So based on what they just said here, as I understand it, they're saying that you'd use the past tense if there are several people, each of whom is an active doer. And so it seems to make sense then, since we're saying to watch the film together, it would make sense then to say посмотрела, which is the past tense, right? But no, it looks like it's actually посмотреть. So the lesson contradicted its own information. Don't ask me why. Они пришла поздно вечером, чтобы something вещи. So they arrived late in the evening in order to pick up their things. And once again, even though this is several people, because it's они, we still say забрать. Don't ask me why. Мама хочет, чтобы дети something сильными и здоровыми. So mama wants the children to be strong and healthy. Here it says чтобы, but here in English you just say mom wants the children to be, and here you say были. So actually I don't know why it's были in this case. Don't yeah. Once again, don't ask me why. I can't really explain why. Ренат пошел в магазин, чтобы something продукты, чтобы купить. Okay, here it's very straightforward. Renat went to the store in order to buy groceries. Very straightforward sentence. Вика купила фрукты, чтобы ее муж something фруктовый салат. So Vika bought fruits in order to make for her husband a fruit salad. And here it's приготовил. So actually, this whole thing about one person doing something or several people doing something is complete nonsense. That does not appear to have anything to do with it, because here it's just Vika making the fruit salad, and we still use the past tense. So actually it's there is something completely different going on here from what they described in those notes there. So I think you can just disregard those notes. Наташа не готовит мужу мясо, чтобы он... So Natasha does not cook for her husband meat in order that he can lose weight. And here the word is похудел, to lose weight. Достоевский написал роман «Идиот», чтобы something за карточный долг. Dostoevsky wrote the novel Idiot in order to pay for the card debt. I don't know what card debt means in this situation. I mean, credit card would be an intuitive interpretation of this, but Dostoevsky lived in the 19th century when they didn't have credit cards, as far as I know. I don't think it means a credit card debt, but it just says card debt, so you can interpret that creatively as you wish. Don't know what that's supposed to mean, but in any case, заплатить, to pay off, is the, or pay for is the word here. Родители продали машину, чтобы их дочь something в университет. So parents sold their car. The parents sold their car so that their daughter could go to university. And the word here is доступила. Why? Don't ask me. Люди едят, чтобы something, а не живут, чтобы есть. People eat in order to live, and they do not live in order to eat. Well, that depends on whom you ask, depends on the person, doesn't it? But anyway, it's чтобы жить. People eat to live, and they don't live to eat. And finally, родители купили сыну компьютер, чтобы он something работать на нем. Parents bought their son a computer so that he could learn to work on it, learn to work on the computer. And the word here is учился. So, sadly, I cannot really explain why we would choose one of these words or the other, because, like I said, the explanation here is completely inaccurate. I'm sure there's some other information going on here that I'm just not aware of, but let's not dwell on it too much now because I can't explain it. Sorry. Okay, and here now we have чтобы или что. Well, once again, the size of the text boxes is really a dead giveaway. This is really so... it's actually a little bit silly in this case because it's so obvious just based on the size of the text box. But let's do this fairly and try to actually understand what's being said here. So, я попросила друга something, он рассказал мне о его путешествии. I asked the friend to tell me about his travels. Okay, so that is чтобы. I asked the friend, yeah, once again, translating this into English, you could just say to, but in Russian it's чтобы. Я не думаю, something, ты придешь сегодня в кафе. I don't think that you will come today to the cafe. Well, that is что, not for some purpose, but just that I don't think that. Подруга сказала something, завтра у нас будет лекция в университете. So the friend said that, again, she just said that tomorrow we will have a lecture in the university. Директор посоветовал something, Victor переделал отчет. So the director advised that Victor redo his report. So here we can see, we don't say что, he didn't just advise that Victor do the report, but he advised, well, yeah, in English you'd still say he advised that Victor redo the report, but here it's чтобы because it's for that purpose, or to that end. Думаю, something, ты говоришь правду. I think that you are telling the truth. Надо something, все знали о сокращении бюджета. Okay, it's necessary that everyone knew about the cuts to the budget. So obviously this is чтобы. Oh, that's actually it's not obvious to me where that's чтобы. You could also say it's necessary что все знали. It's necessary that everyone knows. So why is it чтобы? Well, it just is because Russian. Я хочу something, ты подарил мне кольцо с бриллиантом. Well, that's a bit of a forward request, but this person is saying, I want that you give me a ring with a diamond. presumably is a marriage proposal, I guess. Не уверен. Something эта идея такая хорошая. Не уверен, not sure, что... Not sure if this idea is that good. Мы желаем, something кризис быстро закончился. We wish, чтобы, we wish that the crisis быстрее, so again with the ee on the end, faster, закончился, ends. So we wish that the crisis more quickly ends. Необходимо, so it's required or it's necessary. Something до вечера все документы были подписаны. So it is necessary that by evening all documents are signed. Подписаны, underwritten, just like in German, unterschrieben, signed at the bottom. Моя мама хочет, something мы посетили исторический музей в Москве. My mother wants that we visit the historical museum in Moscow. And again, this is чтобы. Тебе хочется something, все говорили тебе только комплименты. You want that everyone tells you only compliments. Well, that's what many people want, I suppose. Коллега сказал something, я должен помочь ему в работе. Почему я? Colleague said that I must help him with work. Why me? All right, so the colleague said that I must help him with work. Кассир сказал something, мы пришли завтра, потому что сегодня билетов уже не было. So the cashier said that we come tomorrow, or I guess the cashier said for us to come tomorrow, because today there are already no tickets. In English, you'd say there are no tickets left, or no more tickets, but in Russian, you say already no tickets. And finally, родители всегда хотят, something, их дети стали успешными людьми. Parents always want that their children become successful people. Well, maybe not always, but hopefully so. Okay, so, чтобы или что? Mostly fairly straightforward. If you try to translate these directly into English, you won't really be able to discern a distinction between why you say что and why you say чтобы. So this is where it's important to have kind of a feel for how the two words are used differently in Russian. This is where you need to have not just a translation, but like an actual feeling for how you'd use что as opposed to чтобы in the use of Russian. Okay, almost done. We have just a couple of very quick exercises here at the end, like super short exercises. So here we have an exercise titled Ничего не говори, which means say nothing or don't say anything. So what do we have here? Один студент. There's no voiceover here, so I'll have to read this myself. Один студент закончил университет и пришел к профессору русского языка something поблагодарить его. So one student graduated from university and went to the professor of the Russian language. I see. Thank him. So in order to thank him, obviously, then this is чтобы. In order to thank him. Спасибо вам большое за то. Thank you very much. And here you can see from the size of the text box that it's что научили меня говорить по-русски. That you taught me to speak in Russian. Скажите, профессор, что я могу сделать для вас? Tell me, professor, what I may do for you. asked the student. Спросил студент, asked the student. Никому не говорите. Никому не говорите, что это я учил вас русскому языку, ответил профессор. Tell nobody that it was me who taught you the Russian language, answered the professor. That is the greatest gift you could give me. Don't tell anyone that it was me who taught you to speak Russian so terribly. Okay, and final dialogue. Советы врача. Advice of the doctor. Врач. So врач is doctor and врача is genitive, so advice of the doctor. Одна пациентка пришла к диетологу и спросила. So one patient, one female patient, went to the dietologist and asked, «Доктор, скажите, пожалуйста, что мне делать, чтобы...» Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Чтобы похудеть. Doctor, tell, please, what I must do in order to lose weight. Поворачивать голову налево, а потом направо, ответил доктор. Turn your head to the left, and after that to the right, answered the doctor. Когда? Спросила пациентка. When? Asked the patient. Когда вас угощают, ответил диетолог. When you are... Gosh, what is угощают? Now, I'm ruining the joke because I'm getting stuck on what is obviously like the word that makes the punchline. What is угощают? Oh, I see. When you are... The English, the dictionary that I have here translates it as to treat someone to something. So like to treat someone to a meal. So like when somebody offers you, the joke is when somebody offers to take you to a meal, turn your head to the left and then to the right. That's what the woman has to do to lose weight, was the answer of the dietitian. So there you go. Russian humor making fun of fat people and people who don't speak Russian well. Typiczny Ruski, typical Russian, right? I say that with all due respect. I mean, I know it's all in good fun. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be lighthearted, so don't take it too negatively. Anyway, that was lesson 41, speaking about purposes and reasons. So I'll go ahead and just quickly scroll through the lesson once again so you can see all the text of the lesson. I'm not going to dwell on it. You can pause the video, of course, if you'd like to read any of this in greater detail. But that is what we have. And that's all she wrote. That was lesson 41 of Learn Russian with Learn Russian. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope that you enjoyed. Hope that it made sense. And that I'll see you later for lesson 42. Until then, thanks for watching, everyone. And чтобы. Yeah, okay, that doesn't make any sense if you say it like that, but still, yeah. Watch more videos. Чтобы learn Russian. There you go. That's a correct usage of чтобы.